If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. Kevin Stefanski's sudden resignation from the Cleveland Browns has shaken the entire football landscape, leaving fans, analysts, and even rival teams scrambling for explanations. It all unfolded like one of those moments where the air seems to freeze. The kind of twist nobody scripts because it feels too dramatic even for sports. The whisper started small, almost insignificantly, but quickly snowballed into a storm of speculation that no one could contain. People close to the organization insist that the signs were their quiet tension in hallways, closed-door meetings that lingered longer than usual, and a sense that something big was brewing beneath the surface. And now, with Stefanski officially stepping away, the Browns community is left reeling, searching desperately for meaning in an announcement that seems to raise more questions than answers. What pushed a respected, steady, detail-driven coach to walk away? Was it internal pressure, personal reflection, or a sudden shift in the team's long-term direction? The timing feels inexplicable, the reasoning even more mysterious, fueling conversations that echo from the stadium to every virtual corner of the fanbase. The entire league watches closely, wondering what this move reveals about the Browns' inner pulse and the future they're now forced to rewrite. Some insiders are already hinting that Stefanski's decision didn't emerge overnight. Even though it feels like a lightning strike to everyone hearing the news now, rumor has it that tension had been simmering behind the scenes, slowly boiling into something that could no longer be contained. There were subtle hints, nothing overt or explosive, but enough to make certain staff members whisper to each other when cameras weren't rolling. Little moments, like Stefanski lingering after practice by himself or walking out of strategic meetings with an expression more serious than usual, have now been recast with new meaning. Some Browns players allegedly sensed a strange energy recently, a kind of quiet shift in tone that didn't fit Stefanski's usual calm, composed demeanor. But nobody expected this. The thought of him resigning simply wasn't on the radar. Now those hints feel like puzzle pieces that suddenly snap into place. Fans are flooding forums, trying to decode the real reason behind the departure. Was it burnout? Conflict with front office direction? A personal revelation? A pull toward something unknown? Whatever the motive, its impact is seismic. People aren't just shocked, they're unsettled, as though this wasn't merely a coaching change, but a sign of something deeper unfolding beneath Cleveland's surface. The swirl of speculation has already turned into a full-blown tornado, with theories ranging from the grounded to the bizarre. Some voices claim this was a mutual parting dressed up as a resignation, suggesting that both sides quietly agreed the partnership had reached its natural endpoint. Others insist Stefanski made the call alone, surprising even those at the top of the Browns organization. There's talk of philosophical differences, disagreements about roster construction, or a desire to shift gears toward a future that Stefanski felt wasn't aligned with his vision. Then there are wilder tales, the type that social media loves to amplify, stories of dramatic behind-the-scenes confrontations, heated discussions about the team's identity, or sudden realizations from Stefanski about wanting a different path in life. None of these have confirmation, of course, but that's exactly what feeds the frenzy. Rumors thrive in silence, and right now, the silence from the Browns camp is deafening. Players are staying tight-lipped. The organization hasn't offered clarity, and fans are left to piece together scraps of information like detectives chasing a shadow. All of this creates an atmosphere thick with intrigue, the kind of moment that feels like the beginning of an unpredictable chapter for the franchise. What makes everything even more surreal is the sense of unfinished business that Stefanski leaves behind. People genuinely believed he was deeply rooted in the Browns' long-term plan, someone who would shape the team's culture for years. His resignation feels abrupt, like a book missing its final chapters, leaving readers staring at blank pages. Some insiders whisper that Stefanski may have grown frustrated with pressures surrounding expectations, perhaps reaching a crossroads where staying meant compromising something important to him. Others say it wasn't frustration at all, but clarity that he felt called toward a different challenge, something outside the predictable rhythm of coaching. And while no one knows the exact truth, the emotional weight of his departure is unmistakable. Browns fans valued his steady hand, his quiet intensity, and his commitment to structure. Now that void sits heavy, raising questions not only about who will replace him, but how the team will react to such an unexpected shift. This isn't just a coach leaving, it's the unraveling of a familiar anchor, and when an anchor lifts unexpectedly, the entire ship feels the sway. Cleveland's community is holding its breath, waiting for even the smallest clue of what comes next. Inside the locker room, the atmosphere is reportedly a mix of shock, confusion, and curiosity. Several players are said to be wandering through conversations trying to process what just happened, asking each other whether anyone saw this coming. Some veterans, who built a strong rapport with Stefanski over the years, are allegedly taking it harder than others. Younger players are left unsure of what the immediate future holds, especially those who were relying on Stefanski's system to develop their roles. There's a quiet buzz that leadership within the roster may need to step up immediately, not just to maintain focus, but to reassure the team that stability still exists somewhere. Stories from inside the facility describe a strange calm, the type of calm that comes right after a big shock, everyone moving, but with a heaviness that's hard to shake. And in the middle of all this silence, speculation continues to fill the gaps. Some players are rumored to be frustrated with the lack of explanations, while others believe Stefanski kept his reasons private out of respect for the team. Without clarity, everything becomes interpretation, and interpretation becomes rumor, and rumor, of course, becomes the fuel that keeps this story burning at full intensity across every corner of the football world, even outside Cleveland. The rest of the league can't look away. Rival teams, analysts, and executives are all buzzing about the implications of this move. The coaching landscape shifts dramatically any time a major figure like Stefanski steps aside, and now every franchise with even a whisper of instability is reportedly reevaluating its options. Some insiders claim front offices across the league are already preparing to reach out to him, wondering whether he's truly stepping away from coaching or simply stepping away from Cleveland. Others believe he might be taking a break, recharging before plotting his next move, but the lack of clarity keeps everyone guessing. Meanwhile, commentators are dissecting every possible angle, questioning whether this signals a larger internal shift within the Browns organization. Could it be a sign of new leadership strategies, a major culture change incoming? Or did Stefanski simply choose himself over the whirlwind that comes with leading a franchise under constant scrutiny? Whatever the truth, the ripple effect is undeniable. Browns supporters are anxious, rivals are curious, and the broader football universe is captivated by the uncertainty swirling around a coach who rarely allowed chaos into his orbit until now. Rumors continue to swell as people attempt to piece together what Stefanski's next chapter could look like, with theories popping up faster than anyone can keep track of. Some sources suggest he may be preparing to step into a front office role somewhere, believing his analytical mind and calm decision-making could shine in a different environment. Others claim he might pursue broadcasting, becoming the next big coaching voice that breaks down plays with quiet authority and inside knowledge only a former head coach could offer. A few even whisper that he may take time away entirely, reconnecting with his personal life far away from the relentless swirl of football obligations. The charm of these theories lies in how none can be ruled out. Stefanski has always been a measured figure, rarely revealing more than he intended, so his sudden exit opens 1,000 possible doors. Fans from various teams are already pleading online, insisting their franchise should do whatever it takes to bring him in. But until Stefanski speaks publicly, everything remains guesswork. The mystery is almost cinematic, and the NFL landscape seems suspended in anticipation, as though everyone is waiting for the next plot twist to drop and redefine the narrative once again. Back in Cleveland, attention is shifting toward the question no one is ready to answer: who steps in now? The organization is reportedly scrambling behind closed doors, contacting candidates, vetting options, and evaluating whether an internal promotion or an outside hire is the best path forward. Each choice comes with its own ripple effects, and insiders are whispering that urgency is high but panic is not, at least not publicly. Still, fan reactions range from nervous to outright frantic, as they worry the team could lose its identity. Without the steady presence Stefanski brought, some names have begun circulating as potential replacements, but none with enough substance to quiet the speculation. Everyone wants stability, but stability is difficult to manufacture during a moment this chaotic. And adding to the tension is the awareness that decisions made now could influence the team's trajectory for years. Everything hinges on how swiftly and decisively leadership acts. Yet the absence of clear communication leaves the community restless. This uncertainty creates a strange tension across the city. blending hope for a bold new chapter with fear that the structure Stefanski built could crumble without his guiding influence. The vacuum he leaves feels bigger every hour, and Cleveland waits anxiously for a sign of direction. Meanwhile, whispers about the internal dynamics between Stefanski and the front office refuse to fade away. Some insiders claim this wasn't an explosive fallout, but a gradual divergence, divisions drifting apart until the gap became impossible to ignore. People speculate about disagreements related to team philosophy, staffing decisions, or long-term organizational priorities. Others imply that Stefanski wanted more influence over certain operations, and when it didn't materialize, he felt it was time to move on. These are only rumors, but they spread fast because they fit a narrative fans can latch onto. Even those close to the team appear uncertain, offering only vague insights that lead to more questions than answers. The Browns have always been an emotionally charged franchise, and a shift like this naturally invites conspiracy theories, but beneath the noise, there is a real sense of loss. Stefanski wasn't just a coach. He was a symbol of progress and discipline. Losing that stability leaves fans searching for something to hold on to. Any clue that the organization isn't slipping into turbulence until official statements become more revealing. Speculation remains king, and every whisper becomes another thread in a story that feels larger than sports itself. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Some reports suggest that Stefanski's resignation may have been influenced by factors unrelated to football altogether. Personal reasons, family considerations, or the desire to rebalance priorities could all have played a role. Though nothing concrete has been confirmed, these possibilities add a softer, more human layer to the narrative, one that fans tend to overlook in the chaos of immediate reactions. Coaching at the highest level is a demanding existence, consuming time, energy, and emotional bandwidth at a rate most people can't fully imagine. The thought that Stefanski may have simply reached a point where stepping away was necessary has resonated with some supporters, who argue online that respecting his well-being should come before demanding explanations. Still, the lack of clarity fuels intrigue. Was this a long-brewing internal struggle, or did something trigger a sudden shift? Why did it unfold so quietly, with no leaks hinting at the possibility beforehand? Every theory opens the door to a dozen more, keeping the story alive. In the public consciousness, fans cling to every hint, hoping for clues, but the more time passes without a clear statement from Stefanski, the more mythic the moment becomes. The emotional reaction across the Browns fan base is unlike anything seen in recent memory. Supporters are posting heartfelt messages, skeptical rants, and everything in between as they try to cope with the shock. Some express gratitude for what Stefanski brought to the organization, admiring his professionalism and the sense of direction he instilled. Others feel blindsided, angry that the sudden decision leaves them uncertain about the future. Social media has become a swirling storm of speculation, nostalgia, frustration, and anxious hope. It's clear that Stefanski held a unique place in the hearts of many fans, not just because of his strategic mind, but because he represented stability in a franchise long accustomed to turbulence. Losing that presence cuts deeper than a simple coaching change. It feels personal, unsettling, almost surreal. The emotional waves rolling through the community show just how invested people had become in the vision Stefanski was shaping, and now every fan is asking the same unspoken question: what does this mean for the identity of the team they love? The answers will come eventually, but for now, emotions fuel the fire of every rumor, every conversation, every late-night debate unfolding across the fan base. As the dust continues to swirl, one thing becomes unmistakably clear: this moment will be remembered for years. Stefanski's resignation marks a turning point, a sudden fork in the road that forces the Browns to reshape their future faster than anyone expected. The sense of mystery surrounding his departure will likely linger, shaping narratives and inspiring endless discussions long after the organization reveals its next steps. Fans know the team has faced turbulent transitions before, but this one feels different, not because change is new, but because it arrives so abruptly, without the warning signs that usually hint at incoming upheaval. And in that unexpectedness lies the heart of the story. People aren't just reacting to Stefanski leaving, they're reacting to the shockwave of uncertainty it released. The next chapter for the Browns is unwritten, filled with both danger and possibility. And until clarity emerges, the rumors will keep circulating, shaping a story that grows more fascinating with every passing hour, whatever comes next. It's clear the franchise and the fans who live every moment of its journey won't forget the moment Kevin Stefanski stepped away and turned the football world upside down. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!